How would you make the dunk contest better?
I'm old school, you know, growing up watching Mike, watching Dominique Wilkins, those guys. You got one chance to do a dunk. And that was the best part of it because you caught people by element of surprise. You didn't go up there and try, wait a minute, all right, 20 times. And then the dunk never happened. And by the time they make the dunk, you're like, that shit was all right. That shit all right. I mean, it took you 25 times to do it. So I think they just should go back to old school format. You get one dunk, all this time dunk, all that stuff like that, the antics, and I think that's good for the fans, but I'm just an old school guy.
We have Jason here.
Yes, sir.
Just got in.
Just got in.
At 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning. Saginaw, man. That's what happened when you're from the middle of nowhere. You gotta leave super early to get to a big city.
I don't think you get the helicopter to Detroit.
Hey, I wish I could,
Yeah,
man.
no.
I don't even think they got any helicopters in Michigan, though.
Maybe not. So, we had a conversation before you came in. Gil was talking like Gil talks. So we're gonna go back to the first time that you guys were on the court together. Probably the first time I'm gonna say you met too, right? It was in Arizona.
Court together. Oh yeah, Arizona.
So,
Arizona.
What did you say?
Huh?
What did you say about that time?
Oh,
Michigan
we
State.
beat the shit out of them.
They did.
Yeah.
They whooped
What
us.
was so funny is we beat the shit out of them. We beat the shit out of them both years.
They did. They
The
did.
year they won it, and then we beat them in the Final Four. Yeah.
They did whooped us. My dad had a dunk on him, though. That was probably one of my top 5 dunks ever, though. He was in the picture. He was in the frame.
Yeah. What's so funny is the dunk happened so fast and hard. It was hard to figure out what it was like. Because college, you didn't really have replays. So if it happened today, you'd be like, yo. So it was a fast break. Who was it, Charlie Bell?
Charlie Bell.
Charlie Bell
Yep.
went up for there. Richard Jefferson when he smacked the shit out this ball.
Yeah.
Just like, it was like one of those
Volleyball
volleyball. Boom. Hit the backboard. Boom. And off the
Cut the
boom,
ricochet.
the ricochet, all you seen was the rim bend down. And that's like, what the? So somehow he caught the baseball, hit off the backboard, and dunked it back. It was not like, the like soft little, no, this was like a pop and just boom, like, what the f is that?
I mean, you can't be mad. You can't be embarrassed.
No,
You have to be
it was,
impressed.
Nah.
It was embarrassing with it, like, that's impressive. Because
Yeah.
there's no way, like, the ball should have hit half court at least. So the
Easily.
fact that someone actually caught it and then caught it and dunked it back was like, oh, what kind of athleticism is that? Like, because you don't really see, you gotta remember, this is the beginning of the season, so you don't really see what someone's capable of. Only in college, you don't watch other college basketball. You watch NBA. So, when you just seen it block and you trying to and then you just like, oh, what was, wait, how did someone just catch that lob? And then after the game, you watch, you're like, oh.
Ooh.
But I gotta say, you're born with that athleticism.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Gil, he's a skill player, like ultimately skilled, right? But like, man, it's that pretty girl that's born that she can eat anything, but she has like just the perfect body, right? It's just like, man, if I wish I could just have those hops.
What? What? Well, because you gotta remember, we trained. We had the same agent. So day in and day out, you seeing it. We're just seeing so stuff that looks so easy, and he made it look so easy was so difficult. Like they'd be like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Boom, drop step. All right, go up there, dunk it every time. And then he's doing the power dunk, 10. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I can't even do the one dunk. But I can tap the backboard with the same power. But it was just like, me and Kenny Satterfield like, oh, this is some bullshit.
But I mean, it's the same thing with my athleticism. It was Gilbert speed. I don't think you remember this. We used to go to the track in the morning before we go work out. And we would run and do these different jumps and stuff like that. And I'm a 2-foot jumper, so I couldn't do any of the stuff. And I remember one time we raced.
Yeah.
I don't think you remember this, but I think he started off at the 200, and we was at the 100, all of us, and he was the only one at the 200. I was like, oh, there's no way. I'm gonna put some money on this. I'm gonna win it. I'm taking off. Man, before I even got 50 meters down, he already beat us. So, I mean, his speed was it was world-class speed. It was almost the same thing. As he was in awe of my jumping, I was in awe with his speed. just how quick and how fast he was.
Yeah, some guys have lateral, like you have a vertical, some guys have lateral quickness,
Yeah.
some guys have end-to-end speed. So it's all like a gift,
Yeah.
right? It's what you do with it. And Gil said this about you. You became a complete player,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
just
you know,
an athlete.
and I think that's what benefited us. You know, we had a group. It was, you know, with Dan Fagan, it was me, Jay Rich, Kenny Satterfield, Troy Murphy, and then we had T-Bell, Tavares Bell.
Tavares Bell.
You got
Oh, jeez.
You got 5 dude, like he's over here like, geez, and he jumped, that fan jumped. But you got
Man.
5 totally different type of players. 4 guards that get to learn from each other. Like I have speed, Kenny Satterfield had one-on-one game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know, so and then Tavares Bell was a 1-foot jumper. You know, so you're sitting there like, Dan, I need that. Ooh. Like so everyone, like when we're playing one-on-one, we're trying to figure out who we have an advantage over because no one fully has an advantage over each one. So I'd rather go against him versus Kenny Satterfield. Or you know, then I don't want to go against Tavares Bell, or I want to go against Tavares, I don't want to go against Jay Rich. So you're sitting here trying to dictate on how you can try to win this spot because we were all different.
Different, yeah.
We all had different talent in half-court settings. It doesn't work for us. You know, so learning each other, going, you know, us 3 getting drafted together, I think saved everyone's career, especially mine. Because now I get to sit there and depict everything, watching his game and like, all right, he made that look too easy. Like, but what's so funny is, I never told you this. I never told you this. But this is why, like, I had a rough start. You remember we're playing Toronto first game? And you got Vince.
Yeah.
Right? And when Vince did that dunk, boom. They're like, he did it like a spin, boom. And I got up like, oh, like I'm a fan. You know, you're a fan, like, oh, shit. You know, sitting there, right? And then you come down and score. But what scared me was like, dang, if Jay Rich is a Bugatti, and then Vince Carter is a Bugatti over that Bugatti. I'm a Honda. Like, I'm a Honda. I can't. Like, and it's just like I don't even belong here. Like, it was just one of those like the athleticism of just that position was like that's every night.
Yeah.
Like then when like Michael Finley, Kobe, and it was just like I'm outmatched. That's when I was like, shooting guard? No. So and that's when I mentally had to switch to the point because the shooting guard position scared me so much just because of the first game. It was just one of those things. It was like, yo, them super athletes. That's insane. Like you got to think about it. If I'm training with him, I know he's Bugatti status. So when you see Bugatti status gets Bugatti'd, you like,
Where do I fit in?
like, where do I go? I'm at this point, I'm number 15. Yeah, this is where I belong. Yeah, buddy. Let me go ahead and sit my ass right here.
But I think the thing about that group that we all worked out together, we were just special because we all pushed each other. Like we were all super competitive. Like when we go in those one-on-ones, it was war. It's like you didn't want to lose. You know, we all became so close about it, and it didn't matter. I mean, we were young. We would go to the club until 2, 3 in the morning, but we all up at 5 on the track getting ready to go. Nobody, you know, slacking off. Everybody ready to go to work, and I think that's what made that group so special, how we just pushed each other all the time. It was always who's working harder, who's getting better, and I think that's what made us realize and became better pros after we, you know, got drafted and stuff.
Yeah, I think we talked about, I think it was Antoine who was saying it was perfect timing of all these young guys, and the team was kind of wide open. There was Mookie Blaylock was the vet, but those vets were. But it was like anybody could get their spot on the roster.
Yeah, you know, it was one of those things where I think it benefited me, him, and Troy because we already, from the whole summer with each other, we already established our talents. So we all respected each other already. No matter where we got drafted, it didn't matter. So it was like, okay, we know what we bring to the game. We just got to figure out how to pull it all together for each other. So I remember Troy Murphy, he has Danny Fortson
Oh, shit.
He has
Oh,
Danny
my
Fortune,
God.
and he has Mark Jackson. So they ping-ponging this our
I
rookie
mean,
season.
when you talk about bullying, straight bullying.
Bullying,
bullying.
like he was like a rag doll.
Elbow to the neck
then,
every
like,
time. Bam.
It was just one of those things. Like if he was just sitting under the rim, like in no man's land, someone came just. Like it was like that one white boy in the all black school, and they didn't like him. And like it's like we felt bad, like damn,
damn.
I thought I was supposed to be getting that treatment.
You guys were, I think, of that same mold that you knew if I'm going to play in the league, I got to get better at all times. I'm not just here and I'll coast.
I think we both had chips on our shoulders. I mean, I think for him, the biggest thing was everybody overlooked him.
Mm-hmm.
They kept on saying, it's not a point guard, too small to be a shooting guard. That drove him crazy. Me coming in the league, I was
also
a high
got in the way of
pick.
that because you were dunking.
Yeah, I was dunking all over the people, but at the same time, I knew if I wanted to survive in the NBA, I had to learn how to develop a jump shot. I didn't play guard literally my whole life until I got to Michigan State. So you got to think, I played basketball since I was, 3 or 4? And so for 3 or 4 until you're 18, till you get to college, that you actually play guard, you have to learn how to dribble and shoot. It was hard for me. I mean, to this day, I still have problems dribbling. But my shot, my shot is good because I just continue to work on it. But, your ball handling is something naturally. Sometimes people just have it, people just don't have it. And I just didn't have it. So it just drove us to work, to continue to work and work. And then, like us being so competitive, we used to see who could get to the gym first. Trying to stay on the machine longer. He's sitting there waiting. I get to the gym first. He's going to be waiting an hour and a half, mad at me, trying to kick me off. The same way he get there before me, I'm mad. Like, come on, man, you done, man? No, 800 shots, Gil, come on, man. And we got a game the next day. We doing that night before the game just to get better. And that's what just drove us to get better like that.
So you were the only 2 on the team that were doing that, basically?
That's what I said.
Troy
was in the weight room.
No, that's what I said. We each had our own battles. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's funny because he's number 5 pick. So you thinking number 5 pick? Yeah, I got life chilling. What's happening? He's like, no, I got something to prove because they still saying I can't shoot. All right, I'm gonna show them. So and me, I'm like, come on, man, you playing? I ain't even playing. Let me get on the machine. So that's what I said. So the competitiveness is just like, yo, let me get the machine. You play tomorrow.
I need this more than you. I need this right now.
Shit, I'm trying to get this perfect for practice.
But that where you're drafted doesn't matter. You still got to work your ass off.
You still got to work your ass off.
Look at Zion, number 1 pick.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Like,
you should be doing that.
Yeah.
You don't know it until you. That's what I said. We get there and we're the ones pushing each other. We wasn't pushed by veterans. That's what I said. We're in a hectic situation trying to figure out how to get better. And because of the situations we're going through, we're making each other better. We're racing each other to the gym, not some veteran, telling us, yo, let's get to the. No, we're trying to see who can get there because we know if one of us is late, you're going to have to wait after practice. You're going to have to wait after practice because the morning is shut down, God damn it. And that's what drove us.
Yeah.
That's what drove us. Like, and I remember when I had made a stand against the organization.
I can't picture you doing that ever.
Like, it was our sophomore year, our first national television game, playing against Jason Kidd. And game starts, I got 7 of our points, right? It's like 7-12. Sub, 3 minutes into the game. Set the whole half. And then coach is gonna tell me at halftime, finish where you left off. That's why I left off. What kind of shit is this? Like, I didn't even do nothing. I'm out there making this enough. You bench me? Like, what part of the game is this? So I decided I'm boycotting. Jay Rich said, I'm with you. Like, he started. That's such a funny part. He started, he playing. He's like, you boycott. I'm boycotting with you. We both missed practice, right? We both missed practice for a boycott that had nothing to do with him.
Hey, that's a good team.
I know, that's what I said. It had nothing to do with him. Like, he could have easily said, your boycott ain't got nothing. I wasn't even expecting him to boycott. It had nothing to do with him. This is just, you with me. Like, so I'm mad. you. So we missed practice, so they bench us, right? We bench us against Utah.
This was Dave Cowens, right?
Nah, this is Musselman. This is our second year.
Musselman.
And then when they put us in,
Went to work.
Went to work.
Went to work.
We went to work. We said, but this is the first time I experienced the game was more than basketball. Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Because it was one of those things where I had to sit down with Musselman and figure out if you care what they think and you don't win, because at that time I'm outplaying what they can pay me.
Yep.
Because then there was a cap that for a second rounder. So you can only pay me so much, and I'm playing out of that. So you're not going to be able to afford me next year. But what does that have to do with you? Because if you're not winning, they're going to fire you real quick. So you got to make a choice. Because I can tell you right now, I'm going to figure out how you playing me, and I'm just going to play. So, right now I'm averaging 18, 7 to 7. I'm going to keep averaging 18. that number's locked up. That 7 to 7 is going to go down. God damn it, I can tell you that for sure.
But what's that about, though? A coach wants control.
No, it didn't have nothing to do with him.
It was a front office.
Yeah. But they're
office.
saying the front office is giving him pressure. You got to control your team control.
Yeah, you got to control. So it's like, you got to remember that pressure goes to you, because if you ain't winning, they have to get rid of you. So what's happening? And then that's when he bring in the Boykins, and then over in the fourth quarter. Then it's like, what is basketball really about sometimes? Is it actually about winning, or is it about contracts and I paid this man $12 million, I gotta play him?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, I think that was a time we realized that. I mean, because when we first came into the league, we were we were supposed to take the franchise from the dark area to what it supposed to be, what it is right now. And it came in. I kind of started probably the third or fourth game of the season. Probably started the rest of the season. That Troy kind of came later on in 20, and Gilbert still wasn't getting time. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm calling the agent. I'm looking at him like, man, how the hell are you not on the floor, man? And it was literally probably around after All-Star season. I was in the GM office every day. He needed to start. They was mad at me every day before I got to the floor. He needed to start. Why the he's not starting? And then that's when I knew it was more than just, oh, this guy should play because he's better. No, it was like, oh, we getting this guy so much money, or we trying to trade this guy, or we trying to do this. And they totally controlled it. I mean, it's totally different now, but that's how it went back then. Like, we got to play this player, so we got to play him.
And it's like the things that, like, you're grateful when it works in your favor. And for the most part, it worked in our favor. Mm-hmm. But you got other than that, there's players out there you like, come on, why? You know what I mean? Like, I've played against like somebody that'll come in for 3 minutes, bust ass.
Pull him right out.
And you be like, woo, I'm glad that was on the wrong side of his coach. Because he was nice. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and his whole career gets shut down because he only makes a couple $100,000. That guy makes 20. Mm-hmm. So they got to play. They got to get, because it's one of those things. Well, if I start playing this, he's gonna be worth 20. Now I got a 20 and a 20. And that's really how they think. So it's like, well, I'm gonna bench him. Hopefully, I can keep him under a certain number until I figure out what I'm gonna. Like, we basketball players. We don't give about none of that. Mm-hmm. He's sorry. Let me go help the team so I can. And that's all we care about. And it hurts us sometimes to see the way shit shakes out.
I was gonna say that gets in the way of how you play and really how the team's future goes if they're overthinking it.
You have a lot of teams that do that.
Yeah.
They overthink it way too much.
They overthink it because the people who make decisions really don't have no experience on decision making or on coaching styles or they don't know what to expect. Like if you have a rookies, you have a bunch of rookies and young talent, and you have this coach that's supposed to lead them, I hope your expectations ain't to win. I hope it's just to get them better. So his job shouldn't be on the line first 5 years because he has to get
Develop
them
that talent.
ready
Yeah.
and develop.
Yeah.
You said Stan Van Gundy, builder coach. And you think of a guy like Phil Jackson. Phil doesn't want to work with young players and teach them the ropes of being a pro.
Because he knows winning
It's more important than anything.
winning is more important because if you're winning, they can't fire you. So I want a veteran team. I want a team that already knows how to play so I can secure my job. I want the best of the best. I don't want a bunch of young players that I got to build. I want them to already be ready to play.
Yep.
You know, so you have 2-3 different types of coaching styles or jobs in the NBA, but they're all treating them all the same. If you're not winning right now, what do I need you for?
Yep.
Like, I'm not winning because I got a bunch of Hondas and cars I got to fix up to get raceable. And you talking about I got 2 years. 2 years, your number 2 pick is going to be 20.
Yep.
What are you supposed to do? You know, and that's the problem. And players get frustrated. Players get down. Players, become angry. Because you got to remember, if you have a young team and you got that veteran on it, and that veteran only knows how to win, how to get better, you have 2 types of veterans. A good veteran that's like, you know what? I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to keep positive with the kids. Or you got the angry one like, come on, man. Man, these kids is weak, man. They not practicing. I'm in the gym day in and day out, and they not doing nothing. It's like, man, we don't even like him, man. Then he becomes a bad locker room guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a bad locker room guy because I want to win? Okay. All right. That's when you hear, oh, he's a bad locker room guy.
Yep.
Because they never put it in, like, why is he a bad locker room guy? Because he's always yelling at the team to get better and win. Yeah, that looks stupid. You can't say that. That's like Jimmy Butler. Like, we see how fierce
Come on, man.
he wants to win. So you got to expect, like, if that's how he is in a game, he's going to be like that in practice. He's going to be trying to turn that shit on.
But there's some guys that are always on 10, and you're just kind of like, man, you're so intense, but sometimes to pull it back a little bit.
Man, listen, I would love to have a player like Jimmy Butler on my team. The way he,
in a fight, I know
he's gonna have my back, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to win, and that's what it's all about. And I think that's what the difference is, kind of going forward right now. It's not about winning. It's like, well, I get my money, I get my numbers, I'm good.
It's about we all want to get along.
Yeah,
and get it.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I said. It's just a different league. Players are understanding their value a little bit more. Because when you see some of the moves that's made, like back then, if a player left, because social media is here now, but like somebody like Steven Jackson said, man, this era is soft. They all practicing together. They all doing this. I would never practice. Well, you from Atlanta. Ballers didn't come to Atlanta. See, we've always played against each other. If you came to LA,
you
played
everybody.
All the NBA players, they all played and interacted
Constantly.
with each other from the beginning.
Yep.
But you had to be in that city. If you came from Michigan, and there's no group of NBA players that you get to compete against. So Chicago, LA, those guys came back in the summer and battled. Also recruited. So when free agency's up, we hit it, hey, we want you to come through. Now it's their decision to say yay or nay. So recruiting was always part of the game. That's just how it's always been.
Yep.
If you hear some of the trades that players tried to do, you'd be like, damn, if that would have happened, boy, we would have, But if that man upstairs ain't pulling that trigger, what's the
point of it?
You remember it was the banana boat with Dwayne Wade?
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade is a free agent that year. They're in Italy 12 days. Best friends, 12 days. Miami already said they're not bringing him back. So, okay, Dwayne's going to Cleveland. Oh, he's too much. We're gonna go with Dunleavy.
Yep.
And you're sitting there like what?
You know what I think that is? A small market.
What?
That's the mindset of ownership in a small market.
But that's what I said.
They're not going to overspend.
Yeah.
But to win, you have to.
I know.
It's hard to win with mediocre team. Yeah, they were fortunate to do it because they got LeBron James. So having a bunch of mediocre players helped. I mean, it worked for them. But you took only that one player off the team, and it was damn near last place.
But I think that changed when he came here to Miami, and then he came back to Cleveland. That's when they started to spend more.
They didn't know. Do you know who Cleveland's biggest free agent they ever paid was?
I was going to say Kevin Love.
Free agent, they traded.
No, he traded for him.
No, he already played for them. Outside free agent. I'll save you time. Larry Hughes.
Yeah, I was about to say Larry. Yeah.
2006.
Yep.
That was the biggest contract Cleveland Cavaliers ever paid anyone from the outside.
Wow.
Let you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
let
probably
you
fix
you
that.
know.
Speaking of fixing, I brought this up to him earlier today. The dunk contest. You know it well.
Yeah.
It's fallen on hard times a little bit. It's not what it used to be. I don't think it's as cool as it used to be, and there's got to be better ways to do it. So Gil has talked about this before. He has an idea, but how would you make the dunk contest better?
You know, it's just so hard now because everybody damn near did every dunk possible, like human possibly, without jumping off a trampoline, basically. And I think my thing is I'm old school, you know, growing up watching Dominique Wilkins, those guys. You got one chance to do a dunk. And that was the best part of it because you caught people by element of surprise. You didn't go out there and try, wait a minute, all right, 20 times. And then the dunk never happened. And by the time they make the dunk, you're like, that shit was all right. That shit all right. I mean, it took you 25 times to do it. So I think they just should go back to old school format. You get one dunk, all this time dunk, all that stuff like that, and the antics. And I think that's good for the fans, but I'm just an old school guy. Let's go out there and just show what you could do.
Pure dunker.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny because if you think about the antic dunks, the dunk itself is a one.
Yeah.
The antic is the what? Woo! Like, you know.
Like the kid Collins from Atlanta that
Yeah,
jumped off the airplane.
He gonna go look back that in 10 years and be like, damn, that was some dumb shit.
Yeah. 'Cause the dunk was
That's what I said. It's like,
not as great as it could have been for all that building.
You know, I think Amari did one of them. Bounce it off my head and catch it.
Yeah.
No, I was with Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
Yeah.
So you did a two-hand dunk. Right,
I'm telling that shit too.
but that's all it was. You did a two-hand dunk. That's it. Like, you can't count the pass as part of the actual dunk.
Oh man, we're telling
You know, but that's what ends up happening. The dunks became simple, and the antics like, all right, we're gonna. And then the guy's like, 10. No, he's not part of the dunk, bro. You can't say 9 and 1. No, you got to only judge the actual dunk. The dunk was a 1. You know,
oh
and
man.
I wanted outside dunking. I think if outside dunking came in, it would kind of force NBA dunkers to open. Because you got to remember, an NBA dunker doesn't sit here and train for one moment.
No.
It's a one moment, like one weekend, one day of a weekend that I got to perform. Other than that, on the fast break, I'm going to do this. You got to remember, I'm not going to be training all summer just for this one night.
You know, I think that's what fans think that you're in the gym actually practicing for a dunk.
He didn't practice one dunk before the dunk contest.
But when you were at an age, right, when you first could dunk, and then you would do more, like you just like, oh, this is cool. I want to try to windmill it now and try to throw off the backboard.
Yeah, that's just everybody. Once you start dunking, you want to try different things. And you doing that in like 8th, 9th grade.
That's what I'm saying. You got this whole dunk.
You're doing that stuff in the games. You're not sitting there.
Actually, most people don't do it in 8th, 9th grade.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the night before we went to All-Star Weekend, both years that I won it, I was in the gym. I think he was up in there, and he was like, we was shooting or doing something. He just told me different dunks. He come up with these dunks in his head. And I'll go up there and try it, and not full speed. I'm like, okay, I got that. I'm gonna do it in the game. And that was it.
And now somebody's like, yo, did you see him do the dunk? I was like, he didn't do the dunk until he actually did it in the game. Like, so we sit there really trying to like, all right. Because as I said, we're like, all right, what dunks you gonna do for the? It's like, I don't know, I ain't think about it yet. This is the night before. I don't know, I ain't think about it yet.
But yeah, because I think we've seen in dunk contests, guys were like, he would be really good. Sean Kemp, you would think would have won it, and he probably just never really prepared.
But that's what I said, because the dunks that you see in game is their creativity on the move.
Mm-hmm.
Now when you say, all right, dunk contest dunks, it's like, man, I mean, I can try it. But
You've actually seen guys, they're like, I think I'm gonna like rock it this way or in
Yeah,
the
but
dunk
you gotta remember,
contest,
think about
and you're
somebody
like, I
who's-
didn't even think of it till now.
But think about these kids who are dunk champs, and they're doing these. They've practiced this one dunk 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
No dunkers doing that. I mean, I got games of playing. Nobody trying to do
That's
all
what
that.
you're saying. Outside dunkers, guys that aren't in
Which
the
is,
NBA,
I think, is a good idea.
You
It's
have
a great idea.
You have like a pre-dunk contest to get you validated for the actual dunk contest. One guy or two guys. What it do is it kind of tweaks it and changes it just a little bit to force the dunkers to say, all right, let me go ahead and really focus. I'm not gonna let an outside entity come in and dunk. Or you make these dunk kids who commit do like a 3-year commitment. Because what ends up happening is, if you look through time, the best dunker, after 1-2 dunk contests, he's like, I'm over that.
I think did
I'm over it.
MJ
Yeah.
do 3 or 4.
I think it was 3.
Yeah.
So he has 3 and Dominique has 3?
No, he competed. He lost
competed
in
in 3.
Seattle.
Yeah. He didn't
Remember
win
that?
3. He competed in
He
3.
had the chains on.
Yep.
In the old Chicago jersey, that he was doing the cradle. That was his rookie year. He didn't win. And then Dominique, I think, did 4.
He did 4.
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's like,
But I mean, you had those guys who were superstars, and they did more than one.
but that's what
So
I'm
you
saying.
said,
Yeah. But now it's
How
like,
many did you do?
I did 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
and then you get to a point where it's like the best dunkers don't always come in. You know, so you have guys in the NBA that are dunk contest dunks, but they might be sitting at the end of the bench. Mm-hmm. They might not got freestyle dunking in the game for them to be voted on. So there's some of your talent too that can make the dunk contest better. But because they can't get off the bench to get in the game to show. Did James White ever enter an NBA dunk contest? No, right?
No, I don't think
so.
so.
But I was thinking
We-
Gerald Green.
He
Right.
got a dunk contest.
No, he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was at the end, one of those guys at the end of the bench that you knew was had freak vertical.
But I'm saying but somebody like White, James White.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have ever entered the dunk contest, he was gonna come between the legs
From the free throw line.
Which would have been probably top 2 dunks of all time. Mm-hmm. All the players know what he can do, but the fact that he never got off the San Antonio bench, they can't validate him being in the dunk contest.
But the point is, even if you go one time, you might not be ready for how it happened. Like you said, if it's timed or you had your dunk, but then you missed it, then guys get like tight or whatever.
But that's now. That's the now dunk.
Yeah.
Then it was one dunk.
It was one dunk.
Yeah.
And you had one chance to finish it. And that was it. Like, if you even try to take it between your legs, you burn your arm halfway, and you lost the ball. Oh, that was your attempt.
That was your attempt.
That was your attempt. Then he's like, damn. So it made you like, I got to go finish this dunk. And now it just, I think the 1 year, I think it was 2 years after I stopped doing it. I think it was Birdman did it like 50 attempts
that
at
was
one
awkward.
dunk.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
was
man, come
painful,
on, bro.
yeah.
Just put it in, man. Come on, man.
Barkley and Kenny were clowning him like, can we just stop this right now? And end it, like put him out of his misery. He doesn't have to actually do it. But I don't know. I mean, it was like the event of All-Star Saturday Night. It was the coolest thing. And I was there in Charlotte this year. It was all right. But
To them, or have what's the name? Have a tryout. Mm-hmm. Have a dunk tryout. for everyone in the NBA. That's what I'm saying is the best, like LeBron James. He's a great dunker, not necessarily
Dunk contest.
a dunk contest dunker. So
he would have. I think been-
lost.
I would.
What was he gonna do? Jump and do the hang or do the cradle?
First, second year, LeBron on the break would full speed, reverse cock it, windmill.
That is a
do all that.
in-game.
Half court, he was on a breakaway
That's
by
an
himself.
in-game dunk. That's a 10. Dunk contest. That's a 4.
Yeah.
So you he did the dunk contest as a high schooler and won it.
McDonald's.
Shannon Brown,
Yeah, high school.
the All-American game.
Yeah, I mean
He had done dunk contests before, but
when you
people
get-
go back and watch that, and that's why I was like,
But as I said, it's like when windmills start coming between the leg, windmills start coming, all that cradle, they cradle that they throwing through the legs with a cradle now. I mean, that's what I said. So, him going to the dunk, losing wasn't good for his brain.
Nope.
So that's why I said it should be like an open invite. All right, we got these many spots, everyone sign up. And now you get to actually pick real dunkers, even if some of them never played. Because you want Gordon and Levine. Okay, you want them. But you also want 3-4 other players that also compete with that dunk, not 2 other bozos that are 6'10". Or 6'10", like, come on, you're not going to win, bro. Like, give a spot to that 6'7", 6'6" guard that can jump out the gym. Like, that's who's supposed to be here.
You know what my solution is? I think the winners of before should go back and coach.
Oh, man.
Coach?
Yeah, be the dunk coach.
That'd be tough.
Dumb ass.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
That's a dumb ass.
You know what? To be honest with you, I think they should do like what baseball doing. They up the prize money. I think baseball, the home run derby, they was having a lot of guys not doing it. They put $1 million in it. Now you're thinking like, that's $1 million. Now you gonna get all the young guys automatically.
I think it was
$1 million?
like $25,000 in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put $1 million up.
$1 million,
You put $1 million up, Vince Carter's coming back.
You get some guys out there. I mean, that's what baseball did. Guys didn't want any interest in the home run derby. They put that $1 million out. Everybody came back.
As I said, when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, you want to be in part of the dunk contest because you've seen. If you're a dunker, that's what you. But once you win and win and win, it's like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. Your name out there already now.
Yeah, but even though you still can dunk for the next 6 years and win it, you're like, give it to somebody else who's a little bit younger. You only 21. You're only 21. Like, it's just one of those things where you can't bring a dunk coach because you're only gonna see them on Saturday.
Yep.
You gotta remember, there is a season. There's this thing that's called a season. So a dunk champ ain't gonna be after practice like, all right, so I need you. That coach, if you don't get your fucking ass, we got a game tonight.
Right.
No, it's just one that night before. Walk through. Here's some ideas.
But if you can't do that dunk,
You got friends.
I couldn't do that dunk, so you gonna be stuck like that. I mean, so and back to the story of doing it over and over and over. Like my third year doing a dunk contest, I'm like, shit, how many windmills and 360s can I do? Like, let me change it up this way. All right, that wasn't that good. And then the last one I had, that was the last dunk I probably could ever do, was throwing off the backboard between the legs. And I was like, I had nothing else. Like the final round, I had no other dunk. I was tapped out. I said, okay, let me throw off the backboard, chop my arm. But Vince did that. So it's like, how they gonna accept that? So
But you see how he's thinking about the dunks at the contest. That's what I said. At the contest is when he's actually thinking about the dunk. Because there's no pre-thought of, all right, I'm about to go do this. It's like,
Yep, just let me try it.
Yeah, let me try it.
Try it.
And then don't let you be up and then somebody in front of you did the dunk. You had number one.
Oh, you like,
man. My shit.
Yep. That's what happened in the second dunk contest. Desmond Mason came in between the legs. Boom! I was like, God damn, that's my last dunk. Like, let me see if they go like this, don't throw it up, take between my legs backwards. Gil was telling me about it. I was like, let me see. And so when you see it, when I land, I'm looking at everybody, all my peers, and they run. I was like, okay, I got this. So like,
you were there, right?
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, well, basically for the rest of us, we just wish we could do it, just for one day.
I used to look at I used to watch him like Like, you know how you just sit there and just be like, I mean, he got a 50, but shit he do in practice was way better than that right there. Like, cause you gotta remember, I practice with him. So it's like, so watching him in dunk contests and he do a dunk, I'm like, nah, he did that. Like, he did that at the pro-am in San Francisco. Like, he did the 360 between the legs. And that was a 5. Like, you know, it's like, it was kind of weird for me because all summer, all season, watching him in practice, you know, like catch the ball under. Like I seen one where you slashed, it was like a hawk cut, and caught the ball like off the hawk cut pass, and before you turn, you was already, it's like you caught it and already double punt and just reached for the, and I'm like, come on, dog, God, that ain't fair, dog. Like that ain't even fair because it was like hawk cut, you know, like a hawk cut. You try to get in for the layup, and the fact that the rim is like here and he's hawk cutting, and then he bounces it and just leans, and I'm like, you don't even supposed to be doing stuff like that. That ain't even humanly possible.
That's a cheat code.
I know, it was like a cheat code because it was no way he was supposed to dunk, nor anybody was expecting. I'm like, dang! Oh, shit.
I think he was your biggest fan.
That's what I said, because when you see shit happen in practice, like, that's what I said, dunks in practice, because it's on people in traffic. Every day, you just be like, ladies and gentlemen, God damn. Shit. Like, there just be dunks like we were in San Francisco, and I remember the San Francisco, what's the name? It just be, like, you know how you like, it was on a fast break, and then you caught the ball so late, and then you bounced it, and then went under. Boom! Just all in one fast motion. And I'm just sitting here like, how was you supposed to do that? Because it was like one of those where, because he was under the basket, I'm gonna turn around and, you know, catch it here, but to keep running and then just like he's running, dunking, so he's still moving to throw it back and just keep going, like.
Yeah, it's like watching Cirque du Soleil. How is that physically
possible?
Right.
But that's what I said. Those are the dunks I was witnessing live. So my dunk contest experience was like, that was all right. You won. Oh, you won.
So Gil was spoiled.
I was spoiled. I was a little spoiled little brat.
All right, well, speaking of spoil, we're here in Miami. We got to get out of here. You got the beach, the water's calling us. So,
yes, sir.
So you can't. We had you before one time. We kind of rolled up on you in the shoot around that day. So this is official. We're glad to officially
glad to be here.
Man,
that's cool.
Know what? How good? Like, I know how good he was because I had to guard him. Mm-hmm. Like, how good was Steve Nash's vision?
Oh man, like when I first got to Phoenix, I literally was getting hit in the face. Pow! Like, I'm cutting the basket. Pow! The ball just literally, the first practice, and they just told me, just hold your hands up. He's gonna find you. And a lot of people don't like that all the dribbling around, but he's just searching. He's searching for a pass, and he can just see you. Like, you cutting down the lane, and he missed you, and next thing you know, it's like this. It's off his hands. His vision was unreal with how he could just pass the ball, man. It was just unreal.
Like, I was seeing some of his highlights, and I'd just be like, what was your thought process? And and then, you know, like little, like I was like I used to sit there and like watch people do stuff, and I'm like, I can see the pass, but didn't think to throw it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like I remember my most iconic pass was to him.
Off the floor.
Off the floor when I bounce it, knowing that if he miss it,
you're out.
My career is over. Because he's the future. And this shit is, but that was the only time I thought about like something but it was part of the moment. But other than that, like some of the stuff that was that that catches. I'm just like,
Well, it's great for Steve. It was his anticipation too. He
Oh,
would
definitely.
see you were open before you knew you were open.
He knew you were coming. Because, I mean, his thing, like, I mean, I was watching some of the highlights. My son watched them all the time. And he's dribbling towards the lane. He's seeing that I'm cutting already. He already have it in his head. He just pulling the defender a little bit more. Boom, ball's gone. He's like, damn, how you see that before the play even developed? If his head is always on the swivel, he never dribble his head
And
down.
he would know how to deliver too.
And he know how to get it.
What's so funny is that Steve Nash in Phoenix was not that Steve Nash in Dallas.
No.
Like, and that was the funny part because I guess the talent was, and this is where people need to understand. No matter how talented you are, you will never know until you're forced to use your talent. In Dallas, you had Dirk, Michael Finley, Antoine Jameson at one point, Antoine Walker.
Yep.
You had all these super studs with him where he was just a regular old guard, just, making great passes, hitting great shots. But when he got to Phoenix is where it's like, all right, I got my perfect squad. I got the squad that makes my talent. I got a dunker, 4 shooters.
Yep.
Now, a whole nother Steve Nash appeared. So he might have had all that with him the whole time, but he never got to use it because of the talent he had around him.
If that Phoenix team could go, I think that was the difference. That was a track squad.
Yeah, it was a track. That's what I said. But it was a
Track meet.
4-out. It was a 4-out, 1-in type of style where he gets all the room to do whatever he wanted. In Dallas, it was pick and roll. Okay.
Dirk. Yep.
Okay, dribble. Okay, Michael Finley on the post. Like it was no room for him to sit here and and do all that. So when he got there and he just took off, it was like weird because it was like, where was this guy at? He was trash and down. I don't want to say he was trash. He made an all-star, but it was like,
Yeah.
I was scared of him then.
When he was in
teammates
Phoenix,
make him
he was trying different things. I think he was the first person I seen that actually was just working on going off a right hand, right leg layups.
Yeah.
Like off balance layups. And I was like, what the hell he's doing? And then he get in the game, and he might get off balance, he's throwing it up. He's like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. Or he might go to the lane and throw up a runner off the wrong leg. I mean, he worked on it. He was like the first person I saw work on that part of the game, and it literally changed the whole NBA, the scale of the NBA, because everybody started doing the Steve Nash dribble, going through the paint. Steve Nash dribble, like because he's searching, he's just searching, he's searching.
Pro,
and
like,
probing.
He just
That's what
probing.
it's called, yeah.
Probing. So like at first, a lot of people couldn't guard that because they got to the paint and everybody coming here, and next boom, ball going behind his back, dunk. And it was the rule now. Steve Nash dribble means stay home. The big stay home. The guards go take your man because that's what he wants. But now you got to the wing. Now you got Steve Nash on the big. That's a bucket. So it was hard to guard him.
Okay. It was just one of those things. It was like you sit and see players you played with and just try to pick, like, because from the outside you see it, but when someone's inside, like, okay, how good was he really? It's just one of those things. I was just wondering. All right.
Yeah, there's always more to it. But all right, you got to probably rest up a little bit. You got to
Get ready
for your game. You both got a game, but you're up first. So
Man, we winning ours though. He really got a battle tonight, not us. We got to win.
it's always a battle.
Yeah.
But again, we're here in Miami. Again, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Keeps. You love Keeps.
Still waves. Keeps still waves.